Today's episode of Running It Back is up and ready. We have covered some ground in these episodes, all kinds of subjects. Just do a quick review. Movies, sports, skincare. We've done it all on this show. But today, Halloween is here, and so is the final part of our special 3-part series. The Good, the Bad, and the 80s. Part 1, The Good, The Blair Witch Project. Kids lose their map, get killed in the woods. Part 2, The Bad, Practical Magic. A couple of old ladies raise 2 children to never function normal in society. And Part 3, The 80s. The movie, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Andrew and I step into the world of Halloween canon. What a way to cap off the series. To the 80s we go. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Save me, Dr. Loomis! All right, final movie. The 80s portion of our Halloween movies. This movie is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers from 1988. Here's the premise in my own words. Michael Myers awakes from a coma to go kill his niece. That's all I got.
Very good.
That's
Very
it.
Good. That's a good premise.
That's it. Michael Myers, he's in a coma. They're moving him hospitals. One of the attendees mentions he has a niece, and he springs into murderous action and just terrorizes the town after that.
Dude, that's pretty accurate, not only to Halloween 4, but pretty much like every Halloween movie, you know?
Yeah.
Mike Myers gets his mask and kills a mechanic, gets the mechanic suit, and then just gets right back to it, man. I love Halloween 4 because it's got like so much history leading up to it, you know? In kind of in the same way that like Rocky 4 like builds all these characters up and stuff like that. Like at this point, like Halloween 4, like Michael Myers, like no one knew even what was going to happen with him because in Halloween 3, he's not even in that movie.
Right.
Like,
yeah. They had to bring Michael Myers back.
That's like where John Carpenter just like wrote a movie without Michael Myers in it. And everyone was like, what? Like, and they just made it. And it was like a terrible movie. It's called Season of the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a brutal movie that like no one liked or whatever. And then when Halloween 4 comes out, like everyone's like assuming Michael Myers is going to be in it, but they don't know. So like this was kind of like the redemption movie for the franchise or whatever. They had like they like brought it all back around here and like just put his fucking name in the title saying like Return of Michael Myers. That way everyone could chill out on that front, you know, and just be like, okay, good. Like we're going to get Michael Myers now. And then they just did like a return to form kind of where like they just did all the things that made the first movie successful. And like, it was a total hit. Like everybody loved Halloween 4. It was like, it's like the second best Halloween movie. Everybody says it
was pretty successful.
Yeah. It's got, the only thing is that his mask is different in Halloween 4.
Yeah, I got that in my
slightly different style mask that like some people give a lot of shit for. There's like memes about like the name brand mask versus like the store-bought mask. You know what I mean? Like everyone gives that mask shit. But other than that, it's like really like a respected Mike Myers Halloween scare movie.
What are the odds that he can find a mask similar to his one from Halloween 1 at the first store he goes to?
Also, it's like, is that mask like supposed to symbolize him? Like, is Michael Myers like a scary person in that world? Or is he just wearing a random mask that no one finds scary? I don't understand it at all.
What is that mask away from Michael Myers? Say it's on the shelf at a Halloween store and you're buying that mask. What are you doing with it? What is it? It's just a blank.
Makes no sense. It's like, I mean, everyone knows it's like William Shatner's face with like white paint on it, you know, like they made that mask out of like a Star Trek William Shatner mask, and then like the prop guy just like cut the sideburns off and then just put like doll hair on it, and then
Ah,
they made it they that's how they made the Halloween mask. So
oh,
it's like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's a dude. Okay, so if you Google it, you can just Google the William Shatner like 70s Star Trek mask, and it is that face. It's just like a
Oh,
cheesy rubber mask with William Shatner's like face on it, and he's got like he's got the sideburns and everything. And the prop guy just adjusted it and then put plaster on it basically and made it like the infamous Michael Myers
I
mask.
see.
So
In
that's how they
my
did it.
huh.
Yeah.
In my research for Halloween 4, they made several masks and they came back and they needed to do a revision on it. And when it came back, it was like pink. So then they had a couple masks and then they tried to fix it and the hair got accidentally dyed on one of the
Yes.
masks. So in one of the scenes, you can see it where it's obviously a different mask and his hair is blonde, essentially in the school classroom one where he throws Dr. Loomis out the window.
Yes.
You can see the
Yes.
hair's different. And then the
Yeah.
final tip I found is the guy who played Michael Myers, the stuntman, quit about 2/3 of the way through the movie. So a second stuntman is playing Michael
Right.
Myers in the second half of it.
Right. Yeah, man. There were like all kinds of things on set that were like throwing off production and stuff. And like one of them was like they had issue with like the guy's like style of walking. They were like, he's too boxy. Like he doesn't do a good job like walking in the Michael Myers style. So everybody was like talking shit about him on set and stuff, saying he was a bad Michael Myers, and then he just quit one day. And
Yeah.
they had to bring in a different one. So the scene with the old Michael Myers is the one where Loomis sees him like in the restaurant or something, and then tries to shoot him with a gun, and then it cuts to him just being gone or whatever, because they said they shot a scene. They said they shot a scene where he shoots at Michael Myers and Michael Myers like jumps out of the way, and they said that it looked so ridiculous. They were like, the guy just could not do a good job jumping out of the way. It looks stupid. So they just cut that out entirely. So the scene doesn't make any sense because it looks like Michael Myers literally just disappears, you know? So people
Mhm.
think he's like a ghost or something like that. But really they just couldn't show the jumping scene because it looked so bad. But
Do we
that was
ever
the last scene with that Michael Myers. And then after that, you get new Myers. You get the new guy playing him.
figure out what Michael Myers is? Is he
It
superhuman?
yeah, it
Is he a
makes no
person?
sense.
Is he unkillable? Is he a spirit or demon? Did we ever
I
figure that
mean,
out in the Michael Myers canon? Because
it
he
really
can't be
doesn't
killed.
make any sense because he's got like flesh and blood going. Because when Laurie stabs him in the first Halloween, like you see blood on the needle, you know? So he like does bleed and stuff like that. But he seems to have this weird like recharge mode where like he gets knocked down and then like is dead for like 3 minutes and then comes back alive every time, no matter
Mhm.
what happens to him. I think if you add it up, he gets shot like 73 times, like over the course of like all the movies, and then
Yeah, it's
he
unclear
gets stabbed dozens of
what he
times.
is.
He gets
Mhm.
hit by like 5 vehicles. Like there's no way this guy could still be doing what he's doing into his 50s, you know? But
And then
he does.
he's in a coma for 10 years when this
Hmm.
movie starts. And then he hears that he has a niece and he just snaps out of it.
Right.
So and then why does he want to kill the niece? Why is he trying to kill the members of his family? Do they ever explain that?
I have no idea. I have no idea why he
Yeah.
wants to
Why does
kill
he want
his.
to yeah, why is he after the family with his sister in the first movie and then the niece in the third movie? And
There
then
is like a
finally,
yeah, I don't understand. Like there's like a quality to him where like he does like okay, so he never kills young kids, it seems like. Like he always has like a soft spot for children. So he kills adults, you know, and he spares kids. So he's got like that little sense of morality going or whatever. Uh, and then he hates he hates slutty people. He loves killing people who are slutty. you know.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's really no rhyme or reason to him. You learn in Halloween 4 that his evil is almost contagious across family lines, because like that's the famous part where like he gets gunned down by the police force, and then she like touches his hand or something like that, and like the evil like transfers to her in that moment, and then that's where you get the very famous scene at the end where like, spoiler alert, like, you know, she
Well,
she
that's what
kills
I
the
was gonna
mom.
ask. Why
She
does the
kills the
little
mom.
niece?
Yeah,
Why does the little niece become the kill? It's because she touched him.
she touches him. Yeah, and she's related to him too. So there's like,
Oh,
it's almost like how you can be, if your uncle's schizophrenic, there's a possibility you could be schizophrenic too. Like they kind of turn serial killing into like a mental like disorder that could be passed through the genes or something. So she has that going for her from the family line, and then she touches him, and the camera like does like a weird zoom in on it, and then there's like a little like wind sound almost, and I think that's supposed to like imply that like the evil passes into her, because then
oh,
you get the famous scene where she kills her mom, and then that's when Loomis like screams and it's all like intense and stuff. I
yeah,
love, that's such a good ending. I am always shocked by that
yeah.
ending.
That's the
It's a big
that's
spoiler.
the best
Anyone who,
scene of
if
the
you haven't
movie.
seen it, that ruins it. You should put like a
Yeah,
little spoiler alert before you
best.
end it.
That's the best scene of the movie that I wrote down by far.
Damn, that's a good scene. It's so
Yeah,
spooky because I guess you think it's Michael Myers, and then you just fucking see her in a
yeah.
bloody jumpsuit. It's so good. And then Loomis overacts his ass off there too.
Yeah,
That guy just goes
Loomis,
for it. I love
he
him.
uses every inch of every scene
He gives it his
in this
all. I
movie.
love how balls deep he goes there. It's so good.
I also like where they finally kill Michael Myers. They just shoot him a bunch of times. He falls in a well, and then they just go home.
They're
They're
done.
like, they don't
Yeah.
go get the body. They don't do anything. And
Yeah,
then
no one gives a fuck. They're
and
not interested in
not
studying
interested.
this guy who's been shot dozens of times and
He
never died.
falls, and then the ground falls with him somehow. And then Dr. Loomis goes, Michael Myers is dead. He's in hell where he belongs. That's it. That's
Doesn't
all
make
he
any
says.
sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. That would be the most sought after body. Like they would want that body. They would need that body. It's like, where is this
Yeah.
guy? Where did he go?
I got on Rotten Tomatoes 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
Not
no.
not that well reviewed. I think a lot of
Mm.
people wanted to see this movie, but it ended up not getting that well reviewed. Scare factor 1 to 10. I give it a 6. There's some good
That's
there's
pretty
some
fair.
good scare scenes where like he's in the mirror, like the character
Mhm.
passes by and then you see Michael Myers in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then they kind of overdo those little scenes, but the first one is good. There's some scare factor, so I gave it a 6.
I think one of the things I read was that when they made it, they thought that they were so nervous about coming off of the Season of the Witch non-Michael Myers movie that when they made the first cut of it, they thought it like wasn't violent enough. So they had to go back and like put in some more violence or whatever. So they added like a few super violent scenes at the beginning of the movie that like ramps it up. I don't know if you remember it, but there's that scene where he's in the ambulance and he just like grabs the doctor's head.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
like, and then just like shoves his thumb like through his skull or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I got in my gratuitous score.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
like a good like, damn, he's back. And then there's another scene where he rips his hand like through the driver's window and then just like literally rips a guy's jaw off or something like that.
Right,
They
right.
added,
I do remember that
those
one.
two scenes they added in there to like make it a gory like summer horror movie or whatever, you know. So because of those scenes, and then just the whole like, I think the like gratuitous is also like a disturbing like kind of factor too. Like the quality of like the daughter killing her mom at the end, I'll knock it up to a 6.5 in my opinion. I think it's a good 80s violent horror movie.
I gave it a 7. The gratuitous is some blood, the thumb. He kills the boyfriend guy. I think he impales him or something. So a good amount of blood. Although I did do the 80s movie trope where he kind of hits the head in a blunt way, yet there's a ton of blood as a result of it. You know, he knocks the doctor dude's head into a cabinet, but there's a shitload of blood.
Oh yeah.
So
they
a good
ramp it up.
80s trope. Yeah, with the use of blood. So you give it a 7. Also in this movie, here's what I liked about this movie. I like when the whole town gets together and they form a vigilante group to go kill or to go arrest somebody or something.
Oh yeah.
And then they think they see him and they just unload their shotguns. And it turns out to be one of the town's boys. And they're like, God damn it, we killed Glenn. Oh man. And that was it. They just keep on going.
They fucking get their guns and chase Michael Myers down. That's
They
good.
just go chasing. Yeah, they just go
good for
vigilante
them.
group. I like a movie where the town takes it into their own hands.
They all have the right idea. They're all like, we need to take this guy out. He's been doing this too goddamn much. This is the third time.
What do you have for logic issues of the movie?
You know, we already touched on this a little bit, but the main logic issue of just how much physical harm can Michael Myers possibly take before we're just going to have an explanation as to what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it almost makes you wonder, like, what do you got to do? Do you got to cut his head off? Do you got to make him a stump? You know, like, what's it going to take?
Yeah, you have to throw him in a wood chipper.
Like, will he always want to kill, like, even if he's reduced to molecules of himself? Like, how is it? How do you stop it? You know, like, no one seems to be able to answer that. The other, like, logic issue, I would just, maybe not logic issue, but just like a thing that I always find interesting is, like, Michael Myers, like loves that mechanic's outfit. So,
oh yeah, that's true. He finds the mechanic's outfit too.
As soon as he's loose, if the police just call every mechanic shop within 5 miles of the asylum and say, heads up, guys, like, he's probably coming to you.
Oh yeah,
he is, because he always kills a mechanic. He does it again in this one, and it's like unfortunate, dude, because it's always a big guy and it's always going to be a good fight, you think, and then Michael Myers just fucking destroys him. So that's another problem I have, is that Michael Myers never branches
just
out.
Conveniently finds a mechanic suit.
He never. If you think about how many times in your life you pass somebody wearing a size XXL mechanic suit, it's probably very low. Like, I don't know why Michael Myers always ends up in a mechanic suit, other than the fact that he maybe likes the fit and enjoys it, you know? Because he would. What else could he wear? He could wear anything else, you know? He could put on hospital scrubs. I don't know why he wouldn't put those on. Those seem more readily available to him, but he always pops that suit on. So that's another weird logic issue, that he just always ends up landing in a mechanic suit. I get it's the iconic look. You got to have it. But I always find it funny that he's got to find some super horrific way to kill a mechanic.
I had, for my logic issues, he always kind of lumbers and walks slowly through scenes, yet he's always right behind all these people who are running. So it doesn't seem like time and space exists. He's always right behind them. And yet, you know, he never runs and everybody's running away from him. The scene where they're in the truck, they finally got away from him, and the school, they're driving in the truck. And all of a sudden his hand comes up off the tailgate. I'm like, you were hanging. Yeah, that was a little much, that he has this super speed somehow. And then, of course, when he gets shot and just falls in a well and they just abandon him, they just assume he's dead. And then, of course, without explanation, the niece becoming the new killer at the end was my last logic issue. I didn't quite grasp how that happened.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? And they don't even, like, really touch that much ever again. Like, in Halloween 5, they just move right into another idea. Like, that whole, like, her as a killer thing, like, doesn't really live on in a satisfying way at all. She's just like in a mental hospital, like, with a bunch of PTSD, and, like, it just kind of goes from there. Like, she doesn't really act out in that violent way anymore. So it's not, they're like, they don't really do much with it other than just, like, set it up for you and then have you think, like, oh, that's a badass ending, I wonder where they're going to take it. And then they just, like, drop it completely.
Yeah. It didn't go anywhere. It doesn't make sense other than it's scary. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that one goes to my logic issues. Here's a review. Here's a review of the movie. 4th entry in the Halloween horror series is a no frills workman-like picture. So didn't get good reviews, but Michael Myers was back. And I think that's all it took for that movie to get success.
It does satisfy in, like, the 80s criteria for, like, an enjoyable slasher movie. It's got the violence, you know, It's got the boobs. It's got like there might not be any full frontal, but you
Right, almost.
get the sexy lingerie when she's making out with that dude from Dazed and Confused. You
Right.
get all of that, you know. And then of course you get like the iconic like killer, you know, like Michael Myers. So I think it's pretty satisfying as an 80s movie. I was actually a little shocked to hear that it had 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it would have been a little higher.
Yeah, it got pretty consistent negative reviews, but I think at the time when it came out, since it's coming off Halloween 3, which did not have Michael Myers in it, I think people were excited for the film.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't well reviewed. It was
it
was the same sort of storyline. If you think about it, just a guy just going after somebody and killing whoever's in his way.
Yeah, no doubt. They don't do much with it past
There's no
that.
new details to the series with it. So other than he has 3 different haircuts throughout the movie.
Yeah, the pink mask one is kind of stupid. That's ridiculous that they thought they could put him in a pink mask. I'm glad they didn't do that. That's so cheap. It's like, how cheap are you guys? Just get the right mask. Has
that
anyone
would be
seen
funny
this movie before?
That would be funny if he gets the mask on and then at some point as a joke, he sees a barbershop. And in the next scene, it's him coming out of the barbershop and his mask has like a
that would be nice. That would be really nice. He has cornrows or something like that.
That's right. Just as Halloween 7, is kind of a comedy.
Wow. Yeah. The mask, the mask is never explained. Like where does he get that mask? Why does that mask exist in that world? They never touch that. It's weird, man. The series definitely like loses, like the wheels come off the bus after that movie too. Halloween 5 is kind of a disaster. It's kind of cool, but there are so many things that don't make sense in Halloween 5. Like people are literally dressing up as Michael Myers on Halloween in the movie Halloween, So like it's hard to understand why he would be like that much of a scary figure, like already, where like you can buy his construction suit outfit and stuff like that. It's really weird. Like they do the whole thing where like you think Michael Myers is about to kill somebody and then the guy takes off his mask and it's like her high school boyfriend or something. They do that gag like 5 times in that movie. And it's like, oh my God, like get over it. Like stop doing that. So it's really bad. It's a bad movie. They slapped it together for sure. And then it just
the mask
downhill.
reveal is tried and true trope. Go back to Revenge of the Nerds where he bangs a girl in a mask. It does not work by today's standards.
Doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. So yeah, for that reason, like Halloween 4 is like the last good Halloween, and then there's a little bit of a lull. Some people like the one where Jamie Lee Curtis comes back. They called it H2O. That's the Halloween that comes out 20 years later.
I might have thought of the title before they thought of
Josh
the
Hartnett's in that one. So a little bumpy road for Halloween after that one. But Halloween 4 is decent.
Well, the good, the bad, and the 80s. We covered them all.
We did it. We totally did it. Wait, so you gotta tell me what you're gonna be for Halloween. You got any ideas or anything like that? You need to have a brainstorm or something?
No, I have no idea. Well, maybe I'll go get a mechanic suit.
Go pick up a mechanic suit and you can do Mike Myers. You could do what? I mean, I feel like there's something.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people remember that movie Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal. That'd be the perfect one in this environment too, because you would probably benefit from being in a bubble. So you could do Jake Gyllenhaal's Bubble Boy, whatever, man. You could do a lot of stuff.
Man, I'm gonna go with Sandra Bullock.
That'd be sick. Just wear like a nice 90s print dress.
That's right. And I'll have a Faith Hill.
Yeah.
Faith Hill blasting over my shoulder on my iPhone.
That'd be good.
That's right.
Hey, are you Sandra Bullock? Yes, I am.
Good review of 3 movies, the good, the bad, and the 80s.
Right on.
Thanks.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining me.
Always a pleasure, dude.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Later, bro.
Well, that does it for the episode. That also does it for the 3-part series. Halloween special, good, the bad, and the 80s. 3 movies. We did them all. I want to thank Andrew Ramirez, my own brother, for joining me in the review of 3 classics, 3 movies that are really required reading for anybody trying to get into the season. It's Halloween today, everybody, as I record this. So enjoy the season. Go out, have some pumpkin spice, whatever, candy. I guess that's about it for Halloween. Stay safe out there, everybody. See you next week.